Gonna start off by getting grounded all together. So go ahead and find a comfortable position. Take off your glasses if you've got glasses on. You're gonna close your eyes. Take a couple deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. And I want you to connect into the sensation of your breath. So oftentimes we think of our breath more in terms of like, okay, mentally, inhale, exhale, and my breath is this shallow, this deep, this long, this short. Okay. But I want you to let go of that and come into the actual physical sensation happening in your body. So, like, what does it feel like when I'm inhaling in my torso? Where am I feeling that? What's expanding? Is there resistance somewhere? And then the same as you're exhaling. What is softening? What is surrendering? What should be surrendering but isn't? And if you're noticing anything around the ways of something feels tight or stuck or restricted, then just imagine highlighting it with a marker. Okay, you're just coloring it in and then let go. So let the brain go away, come back to sensation. And when something piques your interest, because there's resistance, go back in and highlight it and then let it go. Because that's the whole point of this particular exercise of the sensation of the breath, is to get out of our head and get into our body. Because when we're really focused on the sensation of the breath, we can't think. And the beautiful thing about this awareness exercise is that it automatically prompts you to breathe deeper, to breathe slower, because it feels good to breathe. You might not have ever noticed how good it feels to breathe. But it's just this like little massage from the inside out. It's a hug from the inside out. You're going to bring your awareness into your heart center. Just marinate in your own energy for a moment. No one else's energy exists here in your heart center. That's why it's called the sacred heart. In every religion or philosophy that you look into, there's always this concept of a sacred heart. And that is because it is yours, it is sacred, and no one else's energy can ever hang out here. It can hang out in every other part of the body, which is what we're going to help release today. Just enjoying your own energy. You're going to take a little bit of that energy and your awareness and bring it down through the central channel of your body into the bottom of the pelvis, the root chakra, and then let it branch out into the legs and move right down the center of the bones, right through the bone marrow, all the way down and out through the center points of each foot. So our foot chakras. And it's going to go all the way down through the floor, through any layers of whatever building you're in, till it hits the earth. And then it's going to go down and through the earth, through all the layers of the earth, all the way down until you get to the center of the earth. And once you come into the center of the earth, just imagining a big open cavity, like a big cave. And through that cave runs the river of unconditional love. So this is kind of the bloodline of Panchamama, of our divine feminine sacred mother. And you're going to walk down to the edge of that river. You're going to walk into that river and just let yourself rest in it. Maybe you find an area that's just a couple centimeters deep and you allow the water to flow around you. Maybe you dunk yourself in a deeper portion and let that water run right through you. Maybe you take it for a little ride, or maybe you just float. And as you do this, you're just allowing this energy of the mother, the highest version of the mother, to flow through you, washing away old definitions of the feminine, old definitions of the mother, starting to heal the wounds that have come from the feminine, that have come from the mother. You can just visualize those things leaving your body through your toes, just down the stream. You're going to slowly start to make your way back towards the shore of the river. Before you get out of this river, I want you to just take a second to scoop up some of that water in your hands and take a drink of it. Just allowing that nourishment to move into your body, taking some of this earth energy, this feminine mother energy with you. Then you're going to step out of the water and start to walk towards the edge of the cave, wherever you came in from. Then you're going to move back up through all the layers of the earth, bringing this earth energy up with you all the way till you reach the edge of the earth, and then continuing up through all the way till you reach your feet, back up through the chakras of the feet, through the marrow of your bones, of your legs, up into the pelvic bowl, and then up your center channel, back to rounding the heart. And then let that heart pump that energy out into every cell of the physical body. And once it's filled up the whole physical body, it's going to expand out into our energetic bodies. And it's going to infuse into our aura, our energy fields, cleaning up, doing any repairs to that energy field. And you can just imagine that your energy field is a bubble around you. and it is the shade of royal blue. It's clear, but it's kind of like when you look at it from just the right angle, you see that it's royal blue, and that's connected to the blueprint of our soul. And once all that's filled up, you're going to move back into your heart center. And you're going to take a little bit of that earth energy with you as you float up through that center channel, right out through the crown of your head, and put yourself in a little bubble just above your head. And then float all the way up out of your home or wherever you're situated. And as you look down, you can see your body, then you can see wherever you are starting to get smaller and smaller as you move away towards the edge of our atmosphere, out into space, moving through the stars and the planets, out of our solar system, out of our galaxy, all the way to the edge of the known universe. And you're going to pass through a bright light and a dark light and a bright light, a dark light, through a golden light and into this rainbow substance where everything kind of slows down. It becomes slow motion, and you're surrounded by all the rainbow colors all around you. And you're going to find the pink color, move into the pink color. This is the law of compassion. We're just going to take a moment here to kind of rinse ourselves in this energy, just allowing all of our judgment, all of our shame, all of other people's judgment, all of other people's shame to melt away. And then we're going to find a window or a door. And as you open it, on the other side is this bright white, glitterily pearlescent, iridescent light. You're going to move into that light. And as you do, your bubble disappears, your physical form disappears. It's just your consciousness. Here we are, seventh plane. So first we went below 7 levels, now we're going above 7 levels. And this is the energy of the Father, of the masculine. Divine masculine, sacred Father. So just allowing yourself to be one with this energy. So as our physical forms have kind of disappeared, this is able to infuse into every piece of our consciousness. It's kind of like being in a room that's just had a glitter bomb go off. And as you see all these little sparkles moving around, they move through you, through your awareness. And as they do, they clean everything out. Start to melt away the trauma and the pain from the masculine, from the father. All those wounds start to be healed. You're going to start to move your awareness back towards the door that you came in. And as you do, your physical form is going to start to come back. And you're going to take some of that glitter with you, stuff it in your pockets, put it inside your cells. And your bubble comes back as you reach the door and you move through the pink law of compassion. And you move back out into the rainbow colors, moving back towards and through the golden light, through a dark light and a bright light, and a dark light and a bright light. Back through the edge of the known universe, moving back towards our solar system, spotting Earth, moving back into the atmosphere of Earth, finding wherever you are, finding you again. And you're going to come and float just over your head, releasing that bubble and then dropping your awareness back down into the body through the center of the head. Dropping all the way down into your heart again, and now circulating that father masculine energy through the body. As it moves through the body, it floats outside of the body into our aura, and again goes about its job of repairing anything that needs to be repaired. You're gonna let your eyes flutter back open. Come back into your physical body and maybe just take a second to run your hands over your body. Getting back into this body, this reality. All right. So, letting stuff go. Let's get into it. So, we've just done a little bit of clearing. We've done some of the masculine and feminine work, working with any triggers we have from our own mother, our own father. Um, but that's just the beginning. So, I want you to take a second here, and you can write down a piece of paper, is always most helpful, I find. Or you can just think about it, whatever works for you. But I want you to think about at least one thing, up to 5 things, of something that you are thinking about letting go of right now. So something, and that might be like huge. It might be a relationship, a job. Um, it might be something small, like I really got to get rid of those socks. Like you've just been hanging on to them because it's like, well, they don't have that many holes in them. But that kind of like hoarding energy is what helps us hang on to stuff that is no longer serving us. So it might literally be like something so small as a pair of socks or a shirt or a teddy bear, whatever it is. And it's time, and it's been time, but we haven't done it. And it seems so small and silly and stupid, but really it's representative of a huge thing in our lives. So energetically letting go of like the tiny things is really helpful. We're just going to take about 3 minutes or so to write this down or just think about this. And if you're watching this in the replay, I'm going to cut this chunk of time out. So you'll just pause the video. Okay. So just take a few minutes to think about this. So we're going to move into another meditation to help let this stuff go. And this is a great meditation to do whenever you kind of just want to let things go, whether it's just a bad day or a bad commute or bad cheese, whatever it is. Okay. So you're going to close your eyes, connect into the center of your heart, connect into the sensation of your breath again. And just feeling how the inhale gently hugs the heart. And then drop your awareness down into your solar plexus. So the space, kind of if you feel your rib cage and you walk your fingers up, that little point where everything comes together, it's the solar plexus. And if you imagine a spool of chain there, big, thick anchor chain. Okay, and there's an anchor attached to it, and it's sitting right in the base of your pelvic bowl. It's just resting there. And you can feel the weight of that anchor resting on the pelvic floor and that root chakra. And then you're going to let that pelvic floor open up, and down drops the anchor all the way down right into the center of the earth. It drops right into that river of unconditional love. And you're going to pull up on that chain just enough so that you feel really grounded and pulled down into the earth, but not sucked down into the earth. Okay. So it feels like just like a boat, if the water was to come up a little bit and down, the boat would be able to move. Like you're able to kind of ebb and flow. You're not being pulled down, you're just being aided. Now I want you to feel as if your whole body is effervescing. So it's like when you stick those denture tablets into water and they get fizzy and bubbly, or when you use the vitamin tablets that you put in water and that gets all fizzy and bubbly. Um, that's the feeling you want. So anything right now that's not serving you, it doesn't have to be any of this stuff that we just wrote down, okay? We're just a general clearing to start. So anything that's not serving you in the highest and best way, moving you towards joy, moving you towards unconditional love, moving you towards your highest and best self, anything and everything that is not a part of that is just going to effervesce up. It's going to float, but it's got that tingling sensation as it breaks away from your cells, as it breaks away from your tissues. Because we store all these beliefs in our body. We store all this pain, this suffering, this trauma in our physical body. That's something that epigenetics has taught us, is that we do carry our ancestors' trauma. So if you know that there's some trauma in your lineage, you can set that intention too. I'm going to let this go. This isn't serving me. So just feeling that moving through your body, these bubbles, like little champagne bubbles, moving through the body, moving out, up through the field. And you're grounded. You've got that anchor down there. So as all this stuff floats up, you are just chilling in space, grounded, supported, connected. And you just watch those little bubbles move all the way up to seventh plane. So we're rooted down into the mother and we're releasing up to the father. And that's going to be cleansed and released, let go of. We've got creator above us and creatrix below us. Now I want you to think about something that was on your list. And I want you to see if you can feel in your body where you're holding that belief, that thing, that grudge, that resentment, that sock. Where is it stuck to you still? Because it could be like, I've wanted to release this for so long and it's still here. Where is it still stuck? Where does it have a little tendril that's still like, just hanging on somewhere? And don't think about it. Just trust whatever comes to you. It's like you're left pinky toenail, great. And I want you to focus on that place and imagine that two hands come in to assist in releasing this. One of them is holding, or rather more on fire, with a violet flame, and the other one is with a like neon green flame. Okay, so they're going to come in and they're just going to gently start to pull on that. Maybe they need to shovel it, maybe they need to cut the cord, maybe it just needs to be pulled, but they're going to go in and just trust, watch this process happen. And you're going to go ahead and let those hands be held near whatever area that was just pulled from. And they're just going to offer healing, just unconditional love and healing to that place in your body. And as this is happening, I want you to ask yourself, what needs to change within you in order for this not to come back? Because when we do clearings, if we haven't healed the wound that's called in whatever it is that we're working with, it's going to come back. It's going to come back a little less strong, but it's still going to come back. So ask yourself, what in my life needs to change? What do I need to shift in order to make this permanent? And again, just trust what comes to you. And I want you to think about how, like, what is one simple thing that you can do every day to remind yourself about that thing that's changing in order to change this pattern. So, I mean, it can be something silly, like I pat my head and rub my belly every day for 10 seconds. And that just reminds me we're creating an anchor in our habits so that we can keep reminding ourselves, like, to prioritize whatever it is to move us in the direction of healing and of wholeness. It could be I wake up in the morning and I look in the mirror when I'm going to brush my teeth and I just say, I love you, you beautiful motherfucker. Whatever it is that works for you. How are you committing to your healing? How are you reminding yourself of your own importance in your healing process? So, if you have a number of things on your list, you can come back and keep doing this meditation. Or if you're watching this in the replay, you can pause and do more of them, where you connect into that thing, identify where it is in your body, and then call in the violet and the green hands to remove. Hmm. Just continue now to let the whole body effervesce, releasing more schmegma, other people's opinions, unnecessary anxiety, the words of somebody who isn't that important, the words of somebody who is important but isn't you. Feeling that anchor connected all the way down into the center of the earth. And then bringing yourself back into your heart center, letting the eyes open. Taking a second to just run the hands over the physical body and really feel the body. Hmm. All right, we have one more list that we're going to make. So we're just going to take a couple minutes and make a list of the things that we would like to call into our life. So anything from new socks to a new job to a new car to more broccoli, whatever it is that you want in your life. So just take a few minutes to either write down a list or think through a list of things that you would like. Somewhere between 1 and 5 things. So, same thing. We're going to close our eyes, come back to the sensation of the breath and the heart, and just noticing how, as you inhale, you gently hug your own heart with your lungs. And then reestablish that connection to the anchor. So, if the anchor is pulled up, go ahead and drop it back down. It might still be down there. Just reconnecting to that grounded energy, that anchoring into the present moment. I find it really helpful to imagine that anchor like hitting the seabed and like the plume of sediment that comes up and the sound that it would make. It really helps me feel like boom, I'm here. I'm connected. And then you're going to take one of those things that you're looking to call in, and you're going to put it inside of a blessing ball that's out in front of you, about a meter, 3 feet or so out in front of you. And you can use blessing balls in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's nice just to chuck everything that you're looking to call into your life into it. And sometimes it's good just to do one thing. So today we're just going to do one thing, but know that you can kind of like play around with this however you like. So you've placed this thing inside of this ball of energy out in front of you. Just noticing if that ball of energy has changed color and it's kind of moving around, it's spinning in air. But there's space between you and that ball of energy, right? So in that space, I want you to ask seventh plane energy to show you why you don't already have that thing in your life. What is standing between you and the thing that's in that blessing ball? And again, just let the words show up, let the picture show up. And this one can be a little more challenging because it's forcing us to face some darker aspects of ourselves. And it can oftentimes feel like getting bitch slapped in meditation. We are like, that was rude by yourself. Like, no, that was honest. Then go ahead and ask your higher self again, what would I need to do to remove this thing that's standing between me and what I want? Just a simple thing, just to start unraveling. And maybe you get a long list of things, maybe you just get one thing to start. And I want you to imagine that that thing that's standing in the way between you and this blessing ball effervesces as well. And then anything in your body that's blocking you, that's attached to this blockage that's in front of you, also starts to effervesce and release from the body. Now, drawing your awareness to that blessing ball in front of you, I want you to really deeply connect with that blessing ball, like strong, awkward eye contact kind of connect with it. And then draw it closer to you so it's just a couple inches, a couple centimeters outside of your heart center. And then start to notice what it feels like. This energy in front of you, this thing that you want. What does it feel like to have it? Do you feel joy? Does it give you a sense of accomplishment? Does it give you a sense of pride? Is it stability? Like, what does it bring to you to have this thing? And I want you to imagine whatever that's bringing to you, just as that ball is spinning in front of you, it's rocketing creator's definition and perspective of those things into your heart center. And that's going to flood through your whole body. So mine's going to bring me calm and peace and the ability to relax. And I just keep seeing those things coming into my body, the highest and best definition of them, the definition that doesn't have any group consciousness bullshit attached to it, any cultural stigmas, any religious connotations. just the pure essence of that feeling floods into your body. You say, I already have this. I'm safe, confident, and comfortable having this. I want you to take your hands out in front of you and just imagine that you're putting them around the ball. And you're going to gently bring that ball into your heart center, into your chest. And bring one hand on top of the other at your chest. And just let that assimilate through your whole body, watching it move into each and every cell. Say, it's okay for me to have this. I am safe having this. It is possible for me to have this. It is possible for me to have this and be safe. I know what it feels like to have this in my body, in my life. And I know what it's like to have this in my body, in my life, in my reality, without trauma, drama, pain, suffering, anger, grief, violence, without being kicked out of my family, my tribe, or my community. If you would like to be downloaded with whatever was in that blessing ball and all of those things I just said, just say out loud, yes. And allow yourself to receive what it is you've asked for. Letting your eyes flutter open again. Run the hands over your body, coming back into this physical body. Maybe stomp the feet on the ground a little bit. Because that anchor is kind of lax a little bit, so you can move. You can do that meditation first thing in the morning and like anchor yourself into the day, into your life, into this reality, and then move through the day, and it's going to move with you, and it's going to give you the space to move around as you need to, but still stay grounded and connected to the center of the earth. um So yeah, right there at the very end, it made me think of the very last affirmation on the abundance affirmations, which is also written on my door as I leave the house. And I try to think of it every time I go through a doorway, because that's a great way to reset your brain. And it's, I relax, receive, and believe, or I relax, believe, and receive. Yeah, I relax, believe, and receive. And it's that idea of like, take a deep breath, everything's going to be okay, believe it's going to be okay, and then allow it to be okay. So I offer that to you guys as kind of a little mantra to move into this next season